518 bound for Los Angeles, now boarding on platform 2. Departure in 15 minutes. All aboard West Coast 518.
I'm so glad this day has finally arrived. We're finally heading to Los Angeles for our second honeymoon. Can you believe we've been married 43 years, Caleb?
Seems like only yesterday my beautiful bride became my beautiful wife. I can't wait to spend the next 10 days exploring Los Angeles with you, Rachel.
Walking along the beach,
Seeing the museums,
going to Grauman's Chinese Theater.
and seeing the stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
It will be wonderful. I've been looking forward to this trip for every minute of every day for months now. I don't want anything to spoil our wonderful vacation together.
Well, we had better get our tickets. We don't want to miss the train.
Eleanor entered the train station. The platform was brightly lit against the dimming light of the waning day. People were moving to and fro, hustling and bustling to reach their destination. Eleanor approached the ticket counter, eager to begin her own journey. May I help you, ma'am? As Eleanor approached the ticket counter, the young ticket seller asked, "May I help you, ma'am?" Eleanor replied, "Why, yes. May I please have one ticket to Los Angeles?" "Ma'am, are you saying that you would like to purchase a ticket to Los Angeles?" Eleanor sighed in frustration at the ticket seller, who didn't seem to understand her simple request to purchase a ticket to Los Angeles. It was imperative that Eleanor get to Los Angeles the next day to meet with her publishers and present her latest collection of short stories. "Ma'am, if I could have your attention for one moment. I'm not sure I understand." "Yes, I need to purchase a ticket to Los Angeles. I just said that." "My apologies, ma'am. I was not certain if you were speaking to me or speaking to your notepad." As a writer, I need to be constantly aware of my surroundings and record every detail so that I can incorporate it into my work. Even everyday conversations and interactions can find their way into the written world. "I see. Well, here's your ticket, ma'am. Enjoy your trip to Los Angeles." With ticket finally in hand, Eleanor made her way to the boarding platform.
How can I help you, sir?
One for Los Angeles.
Yes, and will you be keeping your sports equipment with you, or would you like me to check that bag?
My equipment goes wherever I go. Never know when the opportunity to use it will arise. I need to be prepared.
I don't think there will be much opportunity to play basketball on the train, sir.
I didn't become Mike Umbar, top sports recruiter in the Western Conference, with that type of attitude.
Excuse me. I think that the pursuit of knowledge should be held in more esteem than the pursuit of basketball championships, especially at the university. I hope the students you recruit understand the value of receiving an education and do not think the entirety of their college experience should be spent in a gymnasium seeking the approval of mindless sports fans.
How dare you talk about sports that way? Sports provide teamwork, physical fitness, critical thinking, and so much more. Just who do you think you are?
Professor Holly Barnes, University of Utah, Department of Physics and Astronomy. Well, you spend your time recruiting people to run around a basketball court in circles. I spend my time researching the night sky.
Isn't it a little bright in Los Angeles to be researching the night sky?
For your information, I am going to the city to give a presentation on the Perseids at the Griffith Observatory. The meteor shower was particularly spectacular this August due to the setting of the waxing crescent moon.
And you think I'm the crazy one. You're speaking gibberish. Nerd!
Neanderthal. I can help someone.
Good evening. One for Los Angeles, please.
I'm heading to Los Angeles, too! One for Los Angeles, please. Hi, I'm Abby Wells.
Dr. Lauren Maloney. It's nice to meet you.
You're a doctor? You know, I'm studying medicine. Well, veterinary medicine. I'm heading to Los Angeles to get an experience as an aquatic vet tech. It's a little hard to work with marine life in Utah. I bet you could teach me a lot.
Well, that's nice of you to say, but I'm an emergency room physician, not a veterinarian. I don't think I'll be able to help you very much with your marine studies.
But so much of medicine can be applied across disciplines. I read that in my Introduction to Marine Studies book. I think they were talking about animal studies, but I mean, humans are mammals, right?
Listen, I do love my job, but everyone needs some time off. Wouldn't you agree? I'm spending my time off visiting some family in Los Angeles, and truly, work is the last thing I want to be thinking about while I'm there. It was nice meeting you, though.
Next. Hey there, one for the city of flowers and sunshine, friend.
Where, ma'am?
The city of angels, the big orange.
La La Land? I'm afraid I still don't understand, ma'am.
She means Los Angeles. Will you please stop your tapping? I have been reading the same paragraph over and over the whole time we were in line because I can't concentrate with all that racket. I also need one ticket for Los Angeles, please.
Why so serious, my newspaper reading friend? What is it that's taking you to the coast?
I am not your friend. I am Owen Casey, private investigator, and I've been trying to read this article about bank fraud, but you seem intent on stopping that from happening. And of course, we're on the same train.
Private investigator, huh? That sounds pretty exciting, friend. Music can be exciting too, probably in a different way.
Definitely, in a different way. Since you'll probably tell me anyway, what's it that takes you to Los Angeles? Peace and love?
I'm going to become a musical sensation, friend. This ukulele is my ticket to the good life. I'm off to the coast to play my way to the top in show business. It won't be long before you see the name Nellie Henry in your newspaper there, friend.
I'm not your friend, and stop that racket.
Next? It just doesn't make any sense, Jennifer. You can't base the success of the restaurant on desserts alone. It's not a bakery, and it's not a cafe. It is a restaurant. The main entrees are going to be the feature. You aren't even listening to me, Diana. That isn't what I said at all. The restaurant won't survive if we bill it as just another seafood place in Los Angeles. We have to have that extra piece of flair that draws people in, and that flair we found in my desserts, spoken like a true pastry chef, making yourself the center of attention. Well, I'm the executive chef, and the owners told me that I could take the restaurant in any direction I wanted when they hired us to be the new chef team. Exactly, chef team, as in both of us, not the Chef Diana show.
Excuse me, do you need to purchase tickets?
Oh, sorry for the holdup. My sister seems to think she's the center of attention both in and out the kitchen. 2 for Los Angeles, please. Jennifer, if we're ever going to get this restaurant off the ground, you might want to realize that I deserve to be center of attention in the kitchen. Are you serious? What part of your team seems to be confusing me?
This place is disgusting. Just look around. It's too hot. That train is making smoke. And is that sand blowing around the floor? This is not a place I should be expected to set foot in.
Isabella, we've been over this. We have to take the train to Los Angeles as part of your next movie. West Coast Railways is the company providing the trains for the film, and they said they won't have their name appearing in the film unless you're seen actually riding one of their passenger trains for publicity. It's in your contract.
Well, Lucy, I have no idea why you agreed to this. You're supposed to look out for my interests. And this is not something a movie star would be interested in.
I'm your assistant, Isabella, not your agent. He's the one who agreed to this. Besides, I'm sure it won't be as bad as making it out to be.
Excuse me, ma'am. Those women were in front of you. Could you please step to the side? Do you know who I am? I'm Isabella Madison, star of the movie One More Day, which is currently the top-grossing film in Iceland, Greenland, and Norway. I step aside, and I certainly don't wait in lines with people. People wait in lines for me.
That's ridiculous. Just because you're a movie star doesn't mean you can just cut in front of people in line. It's fine. Take care of them. We can wait. Don't worry about it. We'll get to the counter in a minute. She can't just get her own way because she made some foreign film no one has ever even heard of. You deserve more respect than she does. She should have to wait in line behind you. You're the CEO of Salt Lake Pharmaceuticals. Yes, Jillian, and you are my assistant. And as the CEO, I'm telling you not to worry.
And that is final. I don't care if the only sleeper cars you have left house 2 people. I demand my own. And when is dinner? I am absolutely famished from this whole ordeal.
Dinner will be served tonight at 7 o'clock in the dining car, and breakfast will be served tomorrow morning at 8 a.m.
The food on this train had better be prepared by competent chefs. The last thing I need on this venture is substandard cuisine. And I had best have my own table in the dining car. I absolutely will not have my meals disturbed by whatever other nonsensical people are on this ridiculous train trip.
My apologies for the inconvenience, ladies. Where are you heading? No problem. It wasn't your fault. 2 tickets for Los Angeles, please. Certainly. Would you like to check any of your bags? No, thank you. You need to head straight to our business meeting with Sunset Pharmaceuticals as soon as the train arrives, and we don't want to have to wait for the baggage to be unloaded. I still don't understand why we can't just fly there, Miss Millen. We could have arrived tonight and had plenty of time to get ready for your presentation. Or should I say, get ready for your takeover. This will be the third company Salt Lake Pharmaceuticals has acquired this year.
Jillian, you know we can't take our pharmaceutical samples on a plane. I was worried that the change in air pressure would ruin them, and the presentation would fall flat. This is a big acquisition for us, and we can't have anything go wrong.
Of course, you're right, Miss Marilyn.
All aboard! West Coast 518 bound for Los Angeles. Final boarding call. Departure in 5 minutes. All aboard! West Coast 518.
I need one ticket on the 518, please.
A train for Los Angeles, sir.
Doesn't matter where it's headed. All that matters is that Isabella Madison was on it, and that means that I need to be on it too.
Excuse me, but why must you be on the train with her?
Because I'm Sidney Bennett, paparazzo extraordinaire. I heard she had to ride a train for a new contract, so I followed her to Salt Lake City on her movie tour. Photos of Isabella Madison throwing her famous tantrums on this trip are gonna skyrocket me right to the top. Thank you.
All aboard! West Coast 518 to Los Angeles is now departing.
The dining car could best be described as quaint. The 4 tables, each adorned in modest drapery, stood anxiously awaiting the arrival of their occupants, eager to fulfill their purpose. The staff members moved about the car, excitedly seeing to their activities.
Good evening, ma'am. The dining car has assigned seating. May I see your ticket, please?
Eleanor was surprised by the arrival of the steward. She did not know that she would need to bring her ticket with her to dinner and was frightfully unprepared for this conversational exchange.
Excuse me, but if you could just tell me your sleeping cabin number, I can check my list. We posted a chart by the entrance, but you arrived beforehand.
I like to be the first one to arrive in a group setting. It gives me the opportunity to make as many observations as possible for my short stories. I'm Eleanor Williams, writer, sleeping cabin 14.
Ah, yes, Miss Williams. Turns out cabin 14 is assigned to this table. May I bring you anything else to drink while you wait?
Eleanor was pleased with selecting the seat at which she was supposed to sit. As she desired no other beverage than water, which was already provided, the remaining wait staff returned to the kitchen to continue with dinner preparations.
And it says right here, working on a beach rescue can be just as taxing as working in an emergency room. I told you, there's so much you can teach me.
Yes, I do imagine that rescuing an injured sea creature on the beach can be a very stressful situation. But as I said before, I would really just prefer to leave work off the train. I would just like to enjoy my travel in peace. Okay, cabin 6, table 2.
Oh my goodness! I'm at table 2 with you. I'm gonna have the best time on this trip.
At least one of us will.
I truly hope you're not planning on entertaining the diners with that instrument. Some of us came to the dining car to actually dine.
You never know when inspiration will strike, friend. And some people find that listening to music while dining can be a very enjoyable experience.
That's true. I've been trying to convince my sister that tasteful live music to our restaurant could be a huge draw for patrons. I think it would help set us apart from other restaurants in the area. She's convinced it would detract from the atmosphere.
Is your sister on this train, friend? I would love to talk to her about the benefits of music and eating, and to offer my services to this restaurant of yours.
She's supposed to be meeting me here for dinner. She ran off as soon as we got on board to who knows where. I'm not going to stand around and wait for her. She could just meet me at the table. It was nice to meet you.
Nellie Henry, musical sensation. I will keep an eye out for your sister, friend. Perhaps we can convince her that music is the key to success.
The same train, and now the same table. What does a guy have to do to get a break around here?
Come on, my investigating friend. We're gonna have a great time together on this journey. You need to give our friendship a chance.
Why is that exactly?
You never know when you might need a friend. In fact, I know a song about that.
Please don't.
Well, maybe our writer friend would enjoy a nice dinner tune. I was just talking about how music can enhance the dining experience. Eleanor winced at the prospect of the guitar-wielding woman that sat at her table, regaling her in song. However, she gave in, as arguing would only delay the song's inevitable arrival. Come on, friends, why so serious?
I am not your friend. Do you even know what the word serious means? How do you expect to launch your music career being this passive?
I think you misunderstand me, friends. I'm very serious about my music. But where will I get if I'm as uptight as you? Not even willing to make a friend. Or with my face always in a notepad. I want to enjoy the journey. Well, you may want to enjoy the journey. I want to record the journey. Writers need a great deal of material to create and work from, and recording day-to-day activities helps provide some of that material.
You know, in some ways, being a private investigator is just like that. Like in this bank fraud case I was just working on. The scheme was complex. There were lots of moving players in the game, and if I hadn't been paying attention to my surroundings, I never would have realized that it was the security guard walking the bonds out the front door.
Okay, serious friends, no dinner music. Perhaps I can channel some of the serious energy at this table to write a serious song. May I borrow a piece of paper, writer friend?
She's not your friend either. None of us are friends.
Our first vacation meal, darling, and look, we're at table 1.
And we were in cabin 1 too. It must be because we boarded the train first.
I think it's because you're my number 1, and I'm your number 1. Oh my goodness, you two must be newly married. No one has been married longer than a week would be acting like the two of you.
We are on our second honeymoon. We've been married 43 years, and we love each other as much as ever.
Are you traveling alone?
No, though I seem to be flying solo at the moment. Where on earth is Diana? Dinner's gonna be served soon. I guess I'll just order for her.
I'm sure your case of samples would have been just fine in your cabin, Miss Millen. After all, your cabin door locks and the case has a lock on it too. And you are the only one with the key to the case.
You're probably right, but as I said earlier, this acquisition is just too important. No samples, no presentation, no acquisition. I'll just slip it under the table where it won't bother anyone while we eat, and I'll feel much better.
Oh, that's a lovely camera you have there, sir. Are you a professional photographer? I'm sure you can get some wonderful shots of the scenery while we travel.
Of sorts, but the only thing I'm interested in photographing is right here on the train with us.
Hey, I recognize you from the train station. Why are you just sitting around if you had a train to catch?
You keep it down, please. I'm here to photograph Isabella Madison. You know, the famous movie star. I need to sit down before she sees me.
A paparazzo, eh? Those people cause all sorts of trouble for good athletes. They should just leave people in peace.
Well, it seems to me that if people don't want the attention of the media, then perhaps they should choose careers that are less high profile.
Another crack at athletes. Just because people aren't interested in what you do doesn't make what we do any less important.
I believe I said people in general. You are the one that brought up athletes. You are completely insufferable.
Hey, didn't I see you two arguing earlier? What's going on?
Oh, we are just having a bit of a disagreement about academics. I believe the pursuit of knowledge is a most noble endeavor. Coach here does not.
You know, I never actually said studying wasn't important.
Yes, you did, at the ticket counter.
No, I said I was a sports recruiter. And you started right on how dumb sports are. I couldn't even get a word in edgewise. I went to college on a sports scholarship, you know. To study, I wouldn't have made it to college without that scholarship.
Oh, and what is your degree? A bachelor's in being loud and obnoxious?
You know, Being physically and mentally fit is important for people. It's important for marine life, too. I read here that some species of marine life actually play games with each other and are smart enough to create tools for themselves. Isn't that neat?
Well, actually, I have to agree with Abby here. As doctors, we frequently tell our patients that both physical and mental acuity are both very important. I see a lot of people in the emergency room who could have prevented injury by either being in better shape or by using their minds to prevent the situation that caused the injury in the first place.
See, the good doctor here says people need to use their minds when engaging in activity.
Yeah, and I'm sure that looking up at the stars while you run will really help you avoid injury.
And there you go again.
What on earth were you doing in the kitchen? I'm a chef, aren't I? I'm doing market research for a restaurant. In the kitchen of a train? You have to be more open-minded, Jennifer. You never know what you can learn from new situations. This from the woman who has shut down every one of my ideas. See what I mean about siblings? This is what I have to deal with. Don't listen to her. We're just a little bit on edge because of this new restaurant we're opening.
You own a restaurant? That sounds exciting.
Well, we don't own the restaurant. Not yet, anyway. The owner is one of those investment real estate types. He bought the restaurant thinking it would be a breeze to run as a side business for himself. But he found out pretty quickly that running a restaurant is very hard work. So he started looking for some people with decent experience. The owner is letting us totally design everything, right to the paint on the walls and the napkin colors. We're hoping that if this goes well, we might be able to buy the restaurant down the road.
Is it hard going into business with your family? Rachel and I like to spend time together, but we go to 2 separate jobs during the day.
It's definitely been a challenge, and we've been arguing a lot lately. You're right. Let's just not talk about this anymore, okay? We can pick it up tomorrow. Sounds good to me. So, what sights are you planning to see? There you are, Isabella. Did you really have to change your outfit again? The one you wore before was just fine for dinner.
A movie star belongs to the public, Lucy. These people might have already seen me today. They expect me to change my outfit.
We need to be seated so dinner can be served. It's already after 7. I checked the chart. We're at table 3.
Lucy, who are these people sitting at my table?
I'm not sure, Isabella. Probably the other people assigned to this table. What's the matter?
You might recall that when we purchased our tickets on this ill-conceived journey, I demanded my own timetable. I will not be forced to interact with these commoners.
With all due respect, Miss Madison, this tantrum is really not necessary. I assure you that Jillian and myself will be perfectly amicable dinner companions. Really? This is the second time today you treated us like this. We don't deserve it. No one here deserves to be talked down and told we're commoners either.
Please, Miss Madison, as you can see, our dining car is full to capacity. We want to accommodate your every request, but we simply cannot make more tables appear.
Please, Isabella, it's fine. You don't even have to talk to them. Please just have a seat.
Well, you had all better be prepared to give me everything I request for the remainder of this journey, or none of you will be employed after this trip. I am Isabella Madison, and I will be treated as such.
I cannot believe how she keeps treating you. If this was a pharmaceutical conference, you could make demands like her. She has no idea who she's talking to.
Jillian, you know we can't always choose who we have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. We will be the more mature people in the situation and be better for it. Now let's settle down and try to enjoy our meal. I don't think we were actually introduced. I'm Lucy Blake, Isabella's assistant. We are pleased to meet you. A pleasure. I'm Avery Millen, CEO of Salt Lake Pharmaceuticals, and this is my assistant, Jillian Hill. I've heard of that company. It's an honor to meet the CEO.
Miss Millen is the youngest CEO in the company's history and has grown the corporation more during her leadership than the last 3 CEOs combined.
Yes, thank you, Jillian. She makes it sound more exciting than it really is, though. It's a challenge to grow a small company, and our current growth is only happening because of the work all of the others before me put in. Still, those are some impressive accomplishments. Did you study business?
Actually, she studied chemistry. Most of our top pharmaceuticals are based on Miss Millen's own chemical designs.
Again, thank you, Jillian. After the previous CEO retired, the board of directors thought it would be a positive change to have someone who understands how the products we sell actually work. I did end up doing some business studies, but Jillian here is a big help with the business side of things. That's really interesting. I studied business management myself and definitely wouldn't know anything about pharmaceuticals. So I see what the board of directors was thinking. It sounds like their decision is working out well for them.
You studied business management to get bossed around by a demanding movie diva.
Jillian! No, it's okay. I get this question a lot. Actually, Isabella and I were friends in high school, and we went to the same college together. When she started getting parts in guest TV appearances and commercials, she asked me to be her assistant because she knows nothing about business. And to be honest, I really need the job. Working with Isabella is fine for now, but one day I'd like to get into a different line of business.
I'm a doctor. Is everyone alright? Does anyone need medical attention? What is the meaning of this? My dinner is completely ruined and my clothing is soiled.
Our greatest apologies, Miss Madison. There must be a good reason for why the train is stopped. We will find out right away.
I'm an investigator. Maybe I can help.
The passengers moved about the train trying to make sense of the sudden events.
I can't see anything. We're too far away from the front of the train. Someone should go up there and check it out.
Hold on, my sports playing friend. We should stay put until we hear what's going on. That would be your solution, wouldn't it? Just climb out of the car, use brute force, and run headlong into a potentially dangerous situation.
And if it were up to you, we'd be sitting here forever waiting for information. Take some action!
We have been here only moments. A little patience would benefit you.
Only moments? We don't even know what's wrong. We could do anything about that.
All right, so we went to the front of the train, and the conductor says there was a rock slide on the tracks. They already have people cleaning it up, though. We should be on our way in no time.
We apologize for the inconvenience. If you would all like to return to your rooms, then come back. We can get this cleaned up and serve the meal again.
Come on, Isabella. Let's go back to the room and change your outfit. Isabella, seriously, it's not so bad. You brought plenty of clothes. Isabella?
Miss Madison? Everyone, back up. Give us some space. Are you taking pictures? Stop it! You, give me a pitcher of water. Give me those napkins. Give me your coat, shoes, the blanket. Call 911! Okay, Lauren, I have supplies. How can I help?
Abby, there's nothing you can do.
I can sew. I have lots of skills.
Abby, there's nothing you can do. There's nothing I can do. She's dead.
I can't believe Isabella's dead. It's just awful.
I know. She was so young, and she didn't look sick or anything.
Wow. Nothing like someone dying to ruin the feel-good atmosphere of a dinner, friends.
Lucy, I'm so sorry about Isabella. I know you said the two of you were friends for a long time. It's like it's not even real. I just don't know how this happened. I was with her all day and she seemed fine. Even at dinner she seemed fine. And then all of a sudden she dies. I just don't understand.
Do you think she maybe hit her head when the train stopped suddenly? Or maybe she choked on what she was eating?
I doubt it. If something like that would have happened, she would have made a scene and all of us would have known.
What is the matter with all of you? A young woman drops dead and you sit here and make jokes about her? I'm sure no one meant to make a joke, right, everyone? She just meant that Isabella didn't mention getting injured or feeling sick at all, and she didn't react like she was choking.
There's no cell reception here. I'm having no luck getting called through to the authorities, but trained personnel are trying to get a hold of somebody on the radio and have asked me to take on the investigation in the meantime. Lauren, did you notice any injuries or any other clues about how she might have died? You're the medical expert here.
Well, actually, Abby and I were just discussing that. Well, I didn't notice any injuries of any type. And when I tried CPR, her airway was clear, which disproves the idea that she may have choked.
Can you determine a cause of death?
It appears that her heart just stopped. Unfortunately, I have no way of determining what caused that to happen.
Lucy, did Isabella have any sort of history of heart disease, and was she taking any kind of medication?
No, she was totally healthy. The last time she saw a doctor was a while ago, but her checkup came back fine. If she had any sort of medical issue, I would have known about it. We didn't pick up any medication before this trip. She hates taking any kind of drug at all.
Do you think it was something she ate? Should we be worried?
I don't think we have to worry about that. Most all of us ate the same food. If there was something wrong with dinner, more than one of us would have been affected. And besides, other than some kinds of fish, I can't think of any foods that just make your heart stop. We didn't eat anything like that. I mean, you can get food poisoning, and sometimes that can be really serious, but it's not instantaneous.
So what you're saying is Isabella had no history of heart disease or illness of any kind. She didn't eat something that might have gotten her sick. And she didn't get hurt when the train stopped suddenly. Her heart just stopped.
Hold on. Are you saying what I think you're saying?
It seems so unlikely.
You don't really think.
Wait, what are you saying?
I'm saying I don't think this was an accident. I'm saying I think Isabella Madison was murdered.
Eleanor could hardly contain her shock and surprise. Murder on the 518, improbable, but not impossible. The passengers began to speculate as they tried to process this sudden revelation.
You really think someone could have killed her? All of us were right here together when it happened. Wouldn't we have seen something?
Rachel and I definitely didn't plan on murdering anybody during our vacation. Romantic trips don't include dead bodies in the dining room.
Hold on, my romantic friends. Actually, everyone was not all here around the time our movie star friend died.
Nellie's right. Diana and Jennifer ran up to the kitchen right after the train stopped, and Owen followed the waiter out. How can we know what they were doing while they were gone?
Eleanor's right. I did leave the room. I went to go see why the train had stopped. But think about it. If I did leave the room, when would I have been close enough to Isabella to harm her? And what would my motive have been anyway? Every investigator worth his salt will tell you that every crime needs two things: opportunity and motive. I didn't have either one. The people who are in the room seem much more likely suspects.
We went to the kitchen to make sure that the sudden stop didn't cause a fire or injure anyone. We are chefs, you know.
And what motive would we have had? Isabella didn't do anything to us.
You didn't seem too happy with the scene she made earlier in which you declared the two of you to be commoners.
Well, neither did you. It seems like that could have been motivation for someone like a professor to get pretty upset.
Oh, please. Someone like myself commit murder for something as frivolous as a minor insult? That seems highly unlikely, don't you think? Especially when there are far stronger, more common people present.
Again with the insults! Somehow being athletic makes you a murderer? You heard the doctor. Isabella wasn't hurt. Are you saying the doctor is lying to all of us?
Lauren is absolutely not lying. I was right there with her. Isabella wasn't hurt.
Don't you study fish? How would you even know if something was wrong? Besides, the doctor is the one who went from person to person after the train stop. She had the most opportunity. I don't appreciate your insinuation. I'm a healer. A crisis happened and I jumped in to help. While I have no desire to participate in this absurd debate, I feel the need to point out that you and your boss both represent a pharmaceutical company, which would give you access to potentially life-threatening materials. Not to mention the fact that we all witnessed how rudely Isabella treated you both the entire evening. Wouldn't that make you both prime suspects of foul play?
Absolutely not. Pharmacists take an oath too, you know, and my goal is to never do harm with my products. I would never use my company's resources to intentionally hurt someone.
What about Eleanor? A good murder could be just the thing she needs for a great story. After all, she's the one who said real life is the best story material.
I am much too busy recording events to be a part of them, and from what I have recorded, it would seem that Lucy is the most likely suspect of any foul play.
That's crazy! Isabella was my best friend!
She may have been your best friend, but she clearly treats you very poorly, ordering you around, making unrealistic demands, making you clean up her messes, and you never leave her side. You had the most opportunity and the best motive.
She's right. Pressure like that can make people do crazy things.
We all saw how badly Isabella treated you, but you still say she was your best friend?
What kind of sense does that make?
Everyone, just hold on. All right, you're all forgetting one very important thing. So Lucy has the best opportunity and motive. But she's not the only one. Lucy's not the only one who follows Isabella around everywhere. Lucy's not the only one who relies on Isabella for her career. In fact, Lucy's career would be over if Isabella died, but Sydney's career would skyrocket. The amount of money he would make from having exclusive photos of Isabella's murder would take him straight to the top.
People, I didn't kill this woman.
Oh, you must admit, Sydney, Owen makes a compelling argument for your participation in this crime. Can you definitively prove that you were not involved?
Of course, okay, maybe I did get a little excited at the mention of the word murder, but that doesn't mean that I wanted her dead. I mean, who wouldn't get a little excited about something that would benefit their career? Most of you on this train are on your way to Los Angeles for work.
I'm afraid I'm not convinced. I will have to confiscate your camera.
My camera? No, why?
You say you didn't do this, and I do want to believe you. Innocent until proven guilty, right? So you've been taking pictures all evening. You may have accidentally taken a picture that can help us determine the actual cause of Isabella's death.
Okay, but I'm going with you when you look through my pictures. I go where my camera goes.
I'd like to join you both while you look. If the cause of Isabella's death does turn out to be something that we all came into contact with, I'd like to find out as soon as possible.
I can help too. You know, this is a lot like trying to help a sick animal. The animal can't tell you why it's sick. You have to sleuth for the answer.
Sure it is.
You really think Sydney may have taken a photo with the murder in it when all of us here didn't see anything?
No one was looking for a murderer when the event actually occurred. Now we can go back through the night knowing what we're looking for. Sydney's obsession with taking pictures of Isabella might just end up helping her after all.
Hey, don't you think we should do something with this body? I mean, I'm no expert, but I don't think we should just leave it here until we get to Los Angeles tomorrow.
Fair point. If this was a murder, I'd hate to disturb the crime scene. But we can't very well just leave it here.
Can we all just stop calling Isabella it?
Lucy, maybe you should go back to your room and lie down.
Hold on, business friend. If there is a dangerous person among us, is it really safe for us all to separate from each other?
Well, I have to agree with Nellie, especially since we do not yet know who this dangerous person is.
You know what? I think this is all ridiculous. I just want to get to Los Angeles and have a nice honeymoon vacation. I have a hard time believing anyone here could have murdered anyone else. Lucy, how about you join us?
Are you sure? I mean, I don't want to stay alone, but I don't want to intrude on your vacation.
We'd love to have you, Lucy. Rachel is right. We don't even know if anyone was murdered here. We all have to stop jumping to conclusions. Someone died. That is awful. So, do we have to make it more awful?
All right, listen here, you pansies. We need a plan. First, Isabella's body. Who has an idea?
Actually, I do. When Jen and I were in the kitchen, we commented that the train had a really large refrigerator. I think this train might be designed for longer trips than just overnight. I bet we could use it for this, as long as everyone's okay with dry cereal for breakfast tomorrow.
Okay, there's a start. Diana, you and Jennifer go to the kitchen to handle that. Next, did anyone have any luck getting through to the authorities? I'll take that as a no. Eleanor, Nellie, go to the front of the train and find the conductor or engineer or someone and see if they successfully radioed for help.
Eleanor leapt into action, eager to gain more information for the benefit of the situation.
Come on, my writing friend. Maybe you should write while you walk.
All right, now the rest of us are going to wait here to do anything until they come back. Except you people. If you want to look through pictures, knock yourselves out.
Owen, shouldn't you be the one giving directions? Aren't you the investigator?
Private investigators usually work behind the scenes. Once my brain starts working on a case, I tend to forget about everything else going around me. Let's get started looking at these photos. Sydney certainly captured this whole night on camera.
Well, it appears that someone likes to hear himself talk.
Oh, shut it. I didn't see you stepping up to take any action. Seems like something a smart person would have done.
Being able to bark out orders does not automatically qualify you as intelligent. But you did get people moving in the right direction.
Good news. We helped the kitchen staff clear space in the cooler for Isabella's body. They're actually cooking most of the food now for our replacement dinner.
Here's the story, traveling friends. Our train operating friends have made radio contact with the authorities. We're basically in the middle of nowhere right now. They want us to proceed to our final destination of Los Angeles, where the authorities will meet us there. We may have to put off our arrival plans until we speak to our police friends.
Miss Millen, what if we miss our meeting? That's the whole point of us being here.
I'm sure the company will understand if we have to reschedule, given the circumstances.
This whole thing is just insane. I'm gonna try and contact them and figure this schedule out. Maybe I'll get cell reception now that the train is moving again.
Guys, come help us move Isabella's body to the cooler. Or can you come see if it'll work for the rest of the trip?
I'll come too.
Of course you will.
Are you seriously still taking pictures? What's the matter with you? She's dead.
You bet I'm still taking pictures. Do you have any idea how much money I'm gonna make off these? Isabella may be dead, but I'm gonna be rich.
Seriously, that's very inappropriate. And declaring you're going to capitalize on her murder definitely doesn't make you sound very innocent. Plus, the police are going to confiscate that camera once we get to Los Angeles anyway.
Private property. They'll have to give it back at some point, and I'll still be the only one with access to these pictures.
Excuse me, everyone. The kitchen staff is ready to serve your meal. If you could all please vacate the dining area for a few moments while we clean up this mess, your meal will be ready momentarily.
I'm sorry, but we better leave the dining room as is. If Isabella's death was due to foul play, there may be evidence in the room that can help us figure out what happened. Can we serve dinner somewhere else?
The lounge car is available, though there might not be enough table space, but as long as some people don't mind standing, it should be a fine place to serve.
Eleanor was surprised by the physical strength required for the task of carrying a body, especially with the assistance of many. She required immediate sustenance.
I think what Eleanor means to say is that it was much harder than we expected. Jen, pass me my water.
Everything looks like it'll be fine in the kitchen. It's a good thing this is a short trip. This is definitely not a long-term storage solution.
Everyone please, we know you're probably all hungry. If you could all follow us, we will show you to the lounge car and serve you dinner.
I'm just gonna go to bed. I think I've had enough excitement for one night.
Sounds good to me. Why don't we go with Lucy?
Actually, a quiet dinner in my room sounds appealing. Could we just make our plates and take them elsewhere?
Sounds good to me. What does our investigator think?
I suppose folks could eat in their rooms. It's not like anybody's going anywhere.
Of course, no problem at all. Anyone wishing to dine in their quarters may collect their plates in the lounge and take them back to their rooms.
Excuse me, sir, did you not hear us? We'll be serving dinner elsewhere. Sir, can you hear me?
Sir? Sir? Sydney? Sydney, can you hear me?
Abby, it's no use. Heart stopped. He's dead.
All right, everybody, it's time we face the facts. We have 2 deaths due to sudden, unexplained heart failure on this train. It's possible to believe that 1 death was a unique occurrence, but with 2 deaths, we can't deny it anymore. There is a murderer on this train. We don't know who, we don't know how, and we don't know why. And if we don't figure it out soon, there could be more of us dead before we reach Los Angeles.
Eleanor, what are you doing?
Writing, of course.
No, you're not. You're staring at me.
Your expression is most captivating. You look despondent. Eleanor was at a table with a despondent young woman.
She sat in silence, clinging to the small golden trinket around her neck. Eleanor wondered at the significance of the small golden piece. Isabella gave it to me. I didn't even realize I was playing with it. The young woman was clearly deeply affected by the sudden death of her close friend and employer. Isabella wasn't just a close friend, she was my best friend. I don't know if I'm angry, or sad, or frightened, or what I'm feeling. Despondent.
I don't mean to interrupt, but I really don't understand.
Hey, Jillian, I need to come in. What do you mean?
How can you say Isabella was your best friend? I mean, she didn't seem to care about you at all, or anyone for that matter.
Well, it's hard to explain. I think sometimes success can do things to people. Isabella never cared about being famous. She just wanted to act. She was always her happiest when she was playing a part.
Are you saying she was pretending to be mean?
Isabella's manager was always telling her no one pays attention to the nice movie star, and if she wanted to get noticed, she had to put on a scene wherever she went. And I know it looked like she was always so mean to me, but that wasn't really her. The Isabella you guys all saw, that was just how she acted in public, playing another part, I guess.
But didn't it bother you that she made herself the center of attention? Don't you feel you deserve some of the credit?
I never wanted that. I like being behind the scenes. That's why we work so well together, why we spent all our time together for so long. See this necklace? Isabella bought us matching ones before this trip because she said we did all of this together.
I really had no idea.
Most people don't. She built her whole image on being the stereotypical movie star. And maybe if she wasn't so awful to everyone, she would still be alive. Anyway, you seem to spend a lot of time with Avery. You must see multiple sides of her personality, right?
I guess, a little. But she's pretty much the same person all the time. I like things to be straightforward, you know? Hey, it's been a long day. You should really go get something to eat. I think they're still serving dinner in the lounge car.
Thanks for listening. Most everyone else keeps trying to interrogate me because they think I murdered my best friend and the photographer who was chasing her. You're right. It has been a long day. I think I'm just going to skip dinner and go to bed. Good night.
Rachel, what's the matter?
Sweetheart, what's wrong? Why did you run out of the lounge crying?
This isn't how our second honeymoon was supposed to be. I wanted it to be perfect.
I know. I wanted it to be perfect too.
Now when we get to Los Angeles, we'll have to spend time at the police station being accused of murder instead of sightseeing and celebrating our anniversary.
I know that.
We didn't do anything wrong.
I know that. All I wanted to be is with you too. But we're all suspects. We have to let the police do their jobs.
Circumstances got you down, honeymoon friends?
This second honeymoon is turning out to be a disaster.
Come on now, it's not all that bad.
Are you serious? 2 people have been murdered and you say it's not all that bad?
Well, it wasn't either of you who got murdered, right? And maybe you'll have to put off your travel plans a little when you get there, but you'll be spending your romantic time together soon enough. And think of the story you'll have to tell your family and friends when you get back home.
Nellie has the right idea, guys. This will be over before you know it. For us, at least, who didn't know either of the victims.
I suppose you're right, Nellie. I think we're losing sight of why we came on this trip in the first place.
Thanks, Nellie. I think this whole thing is just making me a bit crazy.
How come you can stay so positive and calm, Nellie? Aren't your plans messed up for Los Angeles too? Didn't I hear you say you had a meeting about your music?
Well, truth be told, friends, I don't have a meeting. I sent out lots of copies of my songs, but didn't hear back from any of the record labels I sent them to. I decided to go to Los Angeles to try to make it on my own, and if I stop being positive, how will I have the courage to make it?
Well, Nellie, I don't think I could just dive into something like that. I bet someone will give you a chance.
Yeah, you're so determined. I'll bet your music is great. Want to share it with us?
I'd love to, friends. I started writing some new songs during this eventful journey of ours. Come take a look.
Jillian, there you are. Have you seen Owen? I need to speak with him.
Sorry, business friend. We haven't seen him in a while. Anything we can do for you?
Yeah, is everything okay? You don't look so good.
I'm fine. I just lost something. I'll look over here and see if I can find anything. What are all of you up to in here?
Well, Nellie was just about to play some of her music for us.
You're sitting around a table playing music where someone was just murdered? Aren't you bothered at all by what's going on?
You seem pretty upset, Miss Millen. Can I help? What's missing?
No, Jillian, I'm fine, thank you. And if you see Owen, please send him in my direction.
Of course, Miss Millen.
What are you doing? Stop! You can't just come barreling in here and disturb the evidence. Well, never mind. Clearly no one seems to care that 2 people have died in this location, and that nothing should be disturbed until it's processed by the authorities. Where is that private investigator anyway? Shouldn't he be the one handling this?
I never said I was going to touch anything. I just left my wallet on the table. I don't think that getting my wallet will disturb the evidence, do you? Why'd you follow me in here anyway? Don't trust me? Think I have something to hide?
Well, people eager to remove things from crime scenes seem somewhat suspicious. Also, if you must know, I brought my reading glasses with me to dinner and left them on the table during all of the confusion.
Oh, so it's not okay for me to come get my wallet, but it's perfectly fine for you to come get your glasses? Why is that? Seems pretty suspicious to me.
Because I won't barrel through the room and disturb everything inside.
I don't barrel anywhere. This is a complete double standard. You can do whatever you want because you're a little teach yourself. But I
You
don't.
two, stop it! You have been at each other's throats all night, and we have much larger problems than whatever the 2 of you are fighting about.
Really? You two should take a page from Nellie's book and get some positivity.
That isn't what I meant.
True, friend.
We could all just focus on the problem.
Come
then
on,
we would
guys.
get
Let's go
somewhere.
take our calm and positivity elsewhere.
For the last time, stay out of my kitchen. We are the Jets, not murderers.
We had nothing to do with these deaths.
I'm not accusing you of murder. I'm just worried about the safety of the passengers. We have to get to the bottom of this.
Well, is it very safe for all the passengers if you keep putting dead bodies in my kitchen coolers?
We emptied the cooler before we put the bodies in there. There's no danger to the passengers there.
Hey, Jillian. What's up? Did you come to help us sleuth for clues? No, actually, I lost my cell phone here during the commotion with Sydney. Did you put his body in the cooler too?
Unfortunately, they did.
It is completely unacceptable.
Listen, Chloe.
Hey, put it out!
Oh, here we go. 2 more people to invade my kitchen.
We're not here to invade your kitchen. Actually, we were coming to tell you how much we enjoyed the meal we just had. What are all of you doing in here?
We're sleuthing for clues in the kitchen.
Sort of. I'm convinced these deaths have something to do with something that the victims ate.
Owen, I need to speak with you.
We already told you there are virtually no foods that would cause this to happen. You searched the kitchen. Did you find any dangerous food? We all ate the same things. Take it from people who work in a kitchen. When you serve at an event like this where everyone eats the same foods and all the plates are the same, you have no idea which plate is going to end up at which table. And do you really think the kitchen staff randomly decided to put dangerous foods on just 2 plates? And even if they did,
Hey!
I'm not saying that you did, but really, what are the chances that those 2 plates would end up in front of the intended people? Seems way too coincidental for me.
I see what you're saying. What about the wait staff, though? They served each person individually, and they were in the dining room with us the whole time before the dinner was served. Plenty of time to see where each person was sitting.
We've been in and out of the kitchen a dozen times now. The plates get handed right to the waitstaff, and then they walk out the door. When would they have the opportunity to sabotage the food? Weren't Isabella and Sydney at different tables? Did 2 separate waiters decide to commit murder?
Okay, I get it. The food theory doesn't quite add up.
Well, if you're all quite satisfied, we will be returning to the kitchen without all of you.
Something's missing. What's missing?
Owen,
I know what's missing.
What are you talking about?
Owen said something's missing, and I know what it is.
You do?
No need to sound so surprised.
Okay, enough! Mike, what are we missing?
It seems to me that you're all too caught up on trying to figure out the how, and not the why. People died. We've got that. It happened in the dining car. We've got that too. So now you've spent all night chasing around this crazy food theory that hasn't gotten you anywhere. You can only try to make a layup so many times before you need to change up plays and go for a 3-point shot. So back it up, reassess, and try another approach to the problem.
Eleanor! Do you think it was Eleanor who killed them? No. Eleanor can tell us what's missing.
I don't follow you.
You know, she always writes down everything she sees. She was taking notes the whole time we were in here for dinner. She's taking notes right now. I bet she can help us remember what everyone was doing.
Abby, that's a great idea. Hey, I bet if you put Sydney's photos together with Eleanor's notebook, you can paint a picture of practically everything that happened that night. Where is Sydney's camera anyway?
I think I saw it at the table when we were moving his body. Hey, camera isn't here.
What? Well, where did it go?
So many people have been in and out of this room all night that anyone could have taken it and no one would have been the wiser.
Maybe Eleanor can tell us that, too. What do you say, Eleanor?
Though Eleanor was displeased to have her writings disturbed, she recognized the importance that her notes could have in solving the mysterious murders that occurred, especially in light of the disappearance of the photographer's camera, which created a large gap in the quest for visual evidence. I believe that was a yes.
Jen, let's go see if we can find that camera.
No! All of us are staying right here until we figure this thing out.
But we have to go and
I
see.
know not everyone is here, but Mike was onto something before. All of us who are in this room right now have been trying like crazy to solve this murder. So we are either all the best actors ever, or we are the ones that genuinely do not have anything to hide. Either way, let's go back through Eleanor's notes and maybe focus on the people who haven't been trying to solve the crimes.
Owen, I need to speak with you. Privately. Now.
What's up, Avery? You don't look so good.
Avery, I don't mean to intrude, but
Actually, Lauren, it's a good thing you're here too. So both of you know that I work in a pharmaceutical company, and that I'm going to Los Angeles with samples for a presentation, right?
Right.
When the train stopped suddenly, when there was that rock slide on the tracks, I decided to open up my sample case and check on everything, and it seemed to be fine. I went to my cabin after dinner, and I decided to look again. When I looked, I saw one of the vials was missing.
What?
Avery, this isn't good. What does it contain?
That's the worrisome part. It's a new medication that my company's developing to help patients who are at risk for heart failure, and it hasn't been widely tested yet.
So what you're saying is we're missing a vial of untested heart medication on a train where 2 people have been found dead due to heart failure.
Oh my goodness! What is it? Avery's missing medicine that causes heart failure.
Are you serious? When were you going to share that piece of information with the rest of us?
This new development is most exciting.
Owen, your whole let's focus on the other people theory is crazy. This woman clearly had the means to commit these murders, and she had the opportunity. We should have kept our focus on her the whole time. And she was at the same table as Isabella, who was rude to her.
Do you genuinely think that she would have brought this to our attention if she was the one who committed the crime?
Maybe that's her plan, to make us think she's innocent.
But Diana, from what I'm reading here, Avery was nowhere near Sydney at any point in the evening, and I believe it is somewhat far-fetched to think that there are 2 separate murders on this train.
Diana, come back!
Let's just give those 2 a minute. Avery, tell us more about this heart medication. It seems like the best lead we've had so far for a cause of death.
Well, like I said before, its primary function is to help patients who are at risk for heart failure by helping to regulate heart function. For someone who is sick, too little would be ineffective, but too much could be very dangerous.
So, what would happen if someone without a heart problem took it?
It'd be safe to presume that the same would hold true for a healthy person. A small amount would probably go unnoticed, but a large amount could likely cause serious heart problems.
What characteristics does the medication itself have? Would people realize they were taking it, or could it be hidden somehow?
Actually, that's where my company's been focusing all of our research. All of the samples I'm taking to my presentation are in liquid form with no added colorings or added flavors. We're trying to develop a new line of medications for people who have difficulty swallowing traditional medications.
That sounds like a great idea. I bet it'd be useful for animals, too.
Focus.
Okay, so if you claim it wasn't you, then who else had access to your case?
That's the thing. My case never left my possession. I'm the only one with the key, and I still have that right here. The only times all evening that I opened up the case were right after the rock slides and just now in my room.
Sorry about before, everyone. I was pretty on edge.
I thought we could all use some water. Anyone?
Sure. Thanks, guys.
Eleanor was parched from the excitement and welcomed some refreshment.
Sounds good to me.
Wait,
Don't drink that!
What? Why? What's the matter?
The water glasses. That has to be what happened.
If the medicine is a liquid, it would be very easy to add to a beverage.
And the medications are designed to have very little color or taste. No one would even know they were drinking it.
Eleanor took amazing notes. Right before both deaths occurred, many of us were drinking water.
What about when Sydney died? I don't remember drinking anything then.
It's not quite as clear, but remember, right before Sydney died, those who had helped move Isabella's body into the storage area came back into the dining room and had some water.
Okay, good catch. So now we just need to figure out who got a hold of the medicine and got close enough to both of the victims to put it in their water.
We still need to find Sydney's camera, too.
I'm confident that this notebook will continue to be a valuable resource. If we look back through it, I am positive we'll forget it at every opportunity.
We might not need that notebook.
I think you're right.
Attention passengers. We will be arriving in Los Angeles in approximately 10 minutes. Please be prepared to leave all belongings on board when exiting until the authorities have had the opportunity to survey the scene and speak to everyone individually. Thank you.
Do you guys have an idea of what happened?
Tell us!
All right, everybody, we have 10 minutes before we get to Los Angeles. Let's grab that notebook and let's get to work. If we all work together, we might be able to catch the murderer before we leave. Are you all in?
Go team!
Just arrived, West Coast 518 from Salt Lake City has just arrived on platform 4.
Everybody stay here,
just
please.
arrived,
We
West
have to
Coast
conduct questioning for
518.
each individual. Stay on the platform.
All right, folks, we're ready to take your statements. If you all leave all belongings on the train, they'll be very helpful.
All right, folks, we will try to do this as quickly as possible. Stay together.
You with the instrument, madam, your book. Sir, with the bag. Please, folks, all belongings need to stay on the train.
Though Eleanor wanted to obey the officer's wishes, she was dismayed at the prospect of being separated from her writing supplies, especially what would seem to be a very exciting series of events. She also failed to comprehend how a marine studies book and a ukulele could pertain to this particular investigation.
What? She doesn't like to be separated from her notepad. I can put my book back on the train, though. Nellie, you want me to take your ukulele? Avery, I can take your case for you, too.
That won't be necessary, Abby. I'll be handing my case straight to the police.
Miss Millen, you're handing all of your samples over to the police? Don't you think you should keep them with you?
Nonsense! You heard the officers. Everything on the train is evidence. We didn't want to complicate the officers' investigation by leaving them with a case of samples that they couldn't even open. Here are all my pharmaceutical samples, along with the key to the case.
Hello, officers. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Owen Casey, and I am a private investigator. I wanted to deliver this evidence straight to you, along with that silver case. In this bag are the notes from our resident writer, Eleanor Williams, which I'm sure you'll find very helpful when reconstructing the events on the train during the journey. That bag also contains the camera belonging to Sidney Bennett, who despite the present climate wore a faulty mask until he died.
Wait, you found the camera?
That's awesome! Where was it?
I didn't even know our photographer friend's camera was missing.
So, we might have just caught some luck. This guy might have solved his own murder.
You say this camera was missing. Where did you find it?
Actually, his camera was never missing. The camera I brought along to record my upcoming lecture looked very much like Sydney's. My camera is still missing. This one was under Sydney's dinner table the whole time.
I took the opportunity to go through the photos, and I found one as clear as day of Isabella's murderer, poisoning her water glass.
Oh my gosh, you did? Wait, why didn't he say anything?
You think he was still trying to make more money?
I knew it wasn't food. A photograph of the poisoning. And let me guess, that case contains the poison.
After Isabella died, it didn't take us long to figure out that her death was no accident. Everyone else was fine. At first we thought she might have hurt herself when the train stopped suddenly, but the doctor here confirmed she wasn't hurt.
That's true. I checked on everyone right after the train stopped and no one was injured.
Who was it? Who poisoned Isabella?
At first we all suspected that Sidney did. He had the most to gain by selling off the photos of Isabella's death. Of course he denied it, and he said we could look through his camera to see if we could find any hopeful photos.
And he's the other person who's deceased?
After Sydney died, we knew we had to look at other potential suspects.
Avery, you weren't even with the people who were looking to find out who killed Isabella and Sydney. Diana, Jennifer, Lauren, and Abby all went with Owen to look for more clues. How did it end up that you figured it out?
I realized that I was carrying around a whole case worth of potential danger. When the train stopped suddenly, when there was that rock slide on the tracks, I decided to check on my sample case and everything seemed to be fine, but when I looked later, I noticed one of the vials was missing.
You're missing dangerous medicine? We have to find it. The rest of you could be in danger.
Your medicine poisoned Isabella? It was you. It must have been you. No one else had access to your case. Plus, you just admitted in front of everybody that you opened the case right before she died. I can't believe you tried to make me feel better after you killed her.
Lucy, listen, I thought that same thing at first as well. But when we went back through Eleanor's notebook, we realized that Avery was nowhere near Sydney at any point in time. She couldn't have killed him, and she didn't kill Isabella.
But there was one other person at the dinner table with you and Isabella. One other person who handled the open case of medicine. And the only person who was near both Isabella and Sydney right before their deaths.
Jillian, going somewhere?
You've got to be quicker than that to surprise me.
Fine, you figured it out. It was me.
Jillian, I don't believe this. How could you?
Lucy, I didn't mean to kill her. Honest, I didn't.
But you did kill her. Why Sydney? Why?
I was so angry at the way Isabella treated us at the train station when we were buying our tickets, and again at dinner. I mean, she was so rude to everyone. What did she think gave her the right to talk down to us? To all of us? Fame doesn't give people the right to act that way.
That's why you killed her? You were angry about her insults?
No, all I wanted to do was embarrass her. When I realized Sydney was on board and taking pictures to sell, I thought, what would bring Isabella down a notch? She was always so worried about looking her best and being better than everyone else that I figured a bunch of pictures of her getting sick all over the train right before her big movie premiere would be just the thing to mess up her perfect Hollywood image.
So you poisoned her to make her sick.
When Avery opened the case after the train stopped, I slipped out the vial closest to me before we shut the case again. During all of the commotion, I poured some in her water glass. That way, she would get sick and Sydney could sell her embarrassing pictures. But I didn't mean for her to die. I had no idea what I put in her water would kill her.
I can't believe this. How many times have I told you we work with dangerous items? What were you thinking?
Why kill Sydney, though? He was going to sell the embarrassing photos of Isabella, just like you had planned.
When Sydney started saying how he was going to sell all his pictures and make all this money from it, I realized it didn't matter what happened to Isabella. She was still going to be famous, and Sydney was going to get rich off her fame.
So you killed him?
When Owen and Sydney decided to go through his pictures to look for a picture of the murderer, I knew I had to get his camera. I was sure he had a picture of me poisoning Isabella's water, and he hardly ever put the camera down. So as soon as I could, I poured the rest of the vial in his glass.
You knew it was going to kill him, and you did it anyways. And for nothing. As soon as I could, I snuck back to get his camera. But now I find out I have somebody else's camera. I didn't even see anyone else with a camera.
That's because no one else had one.
I was wondering what you guys meant by a camera. There's nothing but an empty water glass in here. Glad we went along with it, though.
Avery and I realized Jillian must have the vial of medicine, and we knew she must be the murderer. Holly also went back through Eleanor's notes and realized she must also have the camera. But we knew she would never give up the evidence unless we tricked her into it.
I decided if we pretended we had the camera, it just might make Jillian nervous enough to confess. And I was right.
So I did have the camera all along. And you all didn't have a picture of me poisoning anyone.
Of course, now that we have a confession, it doesn't matter if we have a picture or not.
You're under arrest. Let's go.
Alright folks, we still have to ask all of you to come downtown for official statements. But now that we have a confession and a murder, we should be able to get you on your way soon enough. If you all exit in an orderly fashion, we have cars waiting to take you downtown.
Nice work, everyone. Abby, brilliant idea with the camera glove.
Abby, I know that I said that I didn't want to work on this trip, but obviously this trip had other plans. You're a great asset through all the chaos. You're very bright, and I'm sure you'll make a superb vet tech.
That means so much! I learned so much about keeping cool and refreshing from you. You know, during an animal emergency.
Mike, I do hate to admit it, but you've had some very effective insights throughout this investigation. I believe I may have underestimated you.
That'll teach you to judge a book by its cover. Eh, Professor?
Well, I guess you're right. What did you say your degree was again?
Criminal justice.
Criminal justice.
Wow, that was all very surprising.
Yes, I'll say, what a way to start our vacation.
Oh, Jen, you and Diana worked so well together to solve this crazy case.
I suppose we did. You know, we work much better together when we aren't fighting. You're right. We need to find a way to keep ourselves on track, listening to each other and working together on the restaurant instead of working against each other. If I may, cooking friends, I know a fabulous musician who happens to be looking for work and is very good at keeping people calm and relaxed. Come on, Ellie, let's talk terms in the car. Hey, Lucy.
Hi, Avery. You coming?
Yes, I just can't believe this. I'm sorry I thought you were a murderer.
To be honest with you, I feel somewhat responsible. I should have cared more about who I trusted to be my assistant and handle the samples.
You couldn't have known what Jillian would do. I don't think anyone would have guessed it. I know I didn't.
Well, this might not be the greatest time, but I find myself needing a new assistant. Someone who has a good mind for business, good organizational skills, and someone who's good at following directions. Someone who might be in need of employment.
Me? You want me to be your assistant?
I know you're going to have a lot on your plate in the near future, handling Isabella's affairs, but after everything settles down, give me a call. Salt Lake City's a great place to live.
I will. Eleanor, are you coming? Eleanor realized that she was the last train passenger remaining on the platform. Before joining the others, she reflected on the bizarre series of events that befell her and her fellow passengers on West Coast 518. It was unlikely that any of their lives would truly be the same. Friendships torn apart, new relationships forged, old relationships made stronger, and new opportunities presented. What an amazing story this is gonna make.
Thank you.